Good evening. My name is Stephanie Sandoval. I'm going to be discussing about cognitive development learning theory. So when we think about cognitive development, we think about Piaget and how he came up with cognitive development in children and the various stages that children go through in their development. So we're going to discuss a little bit of that today. So the first stage that he discusses is sensory motor, and that's from the age of birth through 2 years old. At that stage, a child or infant to a toddler is still knowing how objects where they are and remembering where they, in their memory where they are, and being able to recognize and remember and bring back that memory. The next stage would be pre-operational. This is from the age of 2 to 7. So we're dealing with toddler through early elementary age. And children at this age are able to associate a word or object to something other than itself. So they're able to, be able to relate and maybe give a name for something that's in that same, scheme of things to something, another object. The next age that we're talking about is concrete operational, and that's from the age of 7 to 11 years old. And at this time, children are able to kind of think and plan things out. They're able to have more of a plan of action and actually start thinking through things. The last stage that we talk about is formal operational. And this is at the age of 11 and up, mainly, adolescents, early adult. And at this stage, children are able to analyze things in multiple ways and think things through. So they're able to reach a conclusion or a result, or even be able to know the result that they want to get and kind of plan on how to attain that or get there. Some vocabulary we associate with cognitive development would be assimilation. So with assimilation, this is more like a reaction to a new encounter based on prior schema. And schema, the way I like to think about it, is memories of responses, interactions that we have, kind of like this database. So we have all these memories of things that maybe how they felt, how they tasted, how they, how felt when we went through them, experiences and whatnot. So an assimilation would be more how we reacted to that new encounter based on a prior memory. Accommodation would be a change in that schema. It would be based on new encounters. So if we had based on that old memory and a new situation happened, so maybe the first time it was scary, the second time we had a good experience. So we change the way our memory, remembers that association. The last term we're discussing is equilibrium. And that's kind of when the schema, memory responses, all of that makes sense with all that we've gone through. So when there's a balance, we're able to relate and associate things and there's no confusion, there's no problems. So that's how I like to sum up cognitive development theory in teaching, especially in teaching young children in elementary schools myself. These stages are super important to be able to understand where they kind of are in their thinking, what they're able to do and not to do. So this information is really helpful for me as an educator. Thank you so much.